I'm not kidding. Some of the albums I'm showing you today may be the worst albums ever pressed on wax. And this is not a bad thing. Be right back. Hi, my name is Frank. It's Friday. That means it's time to kick back, relax, and talk music. As I said, I got two albums which are infamous for being really, really bad. Plus, I'm reviewing or revisiting some albums people have sent me, including some really cool punk out of Texas, a really cool UK groove rock band that has captured the attention of the Black Crowes, Rich Robinson, and what else do I have in here? Some other cool stuff. So without further ado, let's check out the mail. Okay, this first package, I pre-opened it. It came during my break and I did not want to wait for a video. This came from Eric, and this is the stuff I was telling you, some horrible, horrible albums, infamously horrible albums. Here's the note. Eric wrote, "Hi Frank, hi again. As always, I hope you, Sherry, and the girls are well. Let's all hope this new year finds and treats us all better than the last two. No doubt, man. I'm sick of this." Okay, he writes, Eric writes, "A while back you mentioned growing up in an Elvis household. This is a must-have Elvis record, a true classic bootleg, a must-own for Elvis fans. I'll show you that in a second. The other record I recently saw in a local store and figured this was a great companion piece for the Elvis record. Together, these are two of the worst albums ever, yet two records I think everyone should hear." Thank you very much, Eric. Super generous of you. Eric sent me some radio station compilation records last year. Anyway, let's check out these two horribly horrible records. The first one, I know many of you know about this band. This is the Shaggs with their debut studio album called Philosophy of the World, released in 1969. Take a good look, if you can, at this album cover. Because if you look at this album cover, this is exactly what the music sounds like. Mismatched fonts, awkward poses. So this is the only studio, I think it's the only studio album. Anyway, we'll say it's the debut studio album from this band, and it's truly not very good. The music is off time, it's out of tune, but it's developed quite the cult following. So the Shaggs were a group of sisters managed by their father, who thought they would be stars and recorded and paid to have this album recorded in one day. Now, the father was not a good dude. He was overbearing. He was mentally abusive. He just wasn't a good guy. The girls had a strict upbringing. They had issues with anxiety. The dad would make them practice nonstop. It's kind of an ugly situation. Nonetheless, he did pay for this album to be recorded. The way the story goes is that they pressed 1,000 copies. 900 of them somehow disappeared out of the warehouse, and there were 100 left. And it was in the mid-70s where a radio station in Boston started playing this album, which kind of started them on the road to gain this cult following. Later, Dr. Demento started playing the tracks on his radio show. Rolling Stone has called this the sickest, most stunningly awful, wonderful record I've heard in ages. And Pitchfork said the Shaggs are literally the sound of teenagers without any real training, who are suddenly tasked with creating pop tunes. So let me show you what is in the gatefold. This is not an original press. Original presses, as I said, there was very few of them, and they are very hard to come by. Interestingly, Kurt Cobain said this is one of his favorite albums of all time. So there's the gatefold. You can see a shot of the sisters there. There's the back, tells you a little bit about the album. This is, I guess, garage rock. I don't even know if you can call it garage rock. It's just very, very poorly written, performed, and recorded rock music from the 1960s. Honestly, it's probably easier to listen to fingers running down a chalkboard than it is this album. That is part of the legend of this album, right? It's just legendarily bad. Thank you, Eric, for sending this one over. And speaking of legendarily bad, the Elvis record he referred to is this one, Elvis's greatest, just done in very poor taste. There's a photo of Elvis at his funeral. I believe this was originally Originally ran in the National Enquirer back in the day. This is 1982 bootleg. It assembles studio outtakes to present the worst recordings of Elvis Presley. If you ever wanted to hear Elvis sing Old MacDonald Had a Farm, this is the album for you. I'm not sure if Eric likes me or is trying to punish me by sending me these records, but I totally dig it. I am in on the gag, so to speak, Eric. Again, these are records so horribly awful that everyone probably needs to hear them. These are very fun novelties. Eric, thank you so much, my friend. You rock. Horribly horrible albums that you sent over. Cheers, man. I want to talk a little bit about this Texas punk band, and I talked briefly about them before Christmas because Chris, the vocalist of this band, is a Channel 33 RPM viewer, and he sent me and Sherry a whack of stuff to check out. And then we've listened to all of these, and as I said, I've become a big fan of this band, and this band is called Nowhere Bound, and they sent me a few records. I'll tell you a bit about the band. I said they're punk rock from Austin, but by saying punk and just leaving it at that, that's cutting this band short, because they are so much more. There's elements, they're punk, but there's elements of rock and roll, there's elements of hardcore, and as they call it, they also like to incorporate some gritty folk and country. At times it's almost like Irish folk music. This is a 6-piece band. They were formed in 2010, and what I love about them is the songs have so much energy, but they have they're really, a lot of the songs are sing-along songs, like barroom sing-along songs, where I can just picture a whole club of people just joining in the chorus and singing along. I absolutely love that. The lyrics are thoughtful, the melodies are great, and the musicianship just has a lot of depth to it, right? It's not just like 3 chords plugged in electric guitars. There's acoustic, there's all sorts of stuff on here, so I'm really digging it. I'll show you the 3 records. This is Mockingbird. This was their 4th album, released in 2014. My favorite cut on this one was, hold on one second here, that was Yesterday, I think. And then they sent me this one, Hearts and Arrows. This is their 5th album from 2016. This one's a little more in your face than Mockingbird. It's on this colored clearish vinyl. Highlights on here for me are Those Were the Days, Red River and 8th. That is a great, great song. And I mean, there's just so much good stuff on here. Troubadours, Hearts and Arrows, a title track. Just an album you really do have to check out. And then of these 3, this is my favorite one. This is Morning Glory. And to me, this is the band. I mean, these albums are all good, but this is the band really firing on all cylinders. And I love the packaging, sort of the understated elegance of this packaging. There's the front, there's the gatefold, there you see the band, and obviously it's pressed on white vinyl, but this was their released in 2019, their 6th and latest album, and they got fist pumpers on here, real rockin' tunes, and also more laid back and acoustic stuff. Absolutely love it. If you do get into these guys, I was surfing around the internet and I found this package for $40. Check out this Nowhere Bound package. For $40, get 1 shirt of your choice. You get a Nowhere Bound bandana. You get the Morning Glory double LP that I just showed you. You get the Hearts and Arrows CD and an embroidered Nowhere Bound patch. All of that for $40. Amazing deal. I'm leaving the link here. These are good guys. I've been chatting with Chris, again, the vocalist, back and forth on the socials. Seems like a super cool guy, and I'm absolutely digging these tunes. I've been listening to these records, I want to say nonstop for the past month, but that would be exaggerating, but they have been in very heavy rotation. Chris, thank you for sending this over. Good luck with all your endeavors. And man, I absolutely love these records. 2 more things I want to show you, including this next band that absolutely blew me away. A shout out again to viewer Graham, who sent these to me before Christmas, and I showed you when I unboxed them. But this first record is Maker. This is a 4-piece band from the UK, and as soon as the tone arm dropped on this record, boom, my mind was blown. This was such a fantastic record. It got me from the get-go. It's funk, groove, funky, groovy rock and roll, kind of in the vein of the Black Crowes, but back in the early days of the Black Crowes when they had energy and passion and fire, which they haven't had, in my opinion, for quite a while. The singer really has a Chris Robinson vibe going on. It's funky, but again, not Chili Peppers funky, more like 1970s inspired groovy, funky kind of stuff. The album cover, unfortunately, does not do this album justice. This album cover, in my opinion, is not very good, but the music is absolutely phenomenal. Apparently, they caught the attention of the Black Crowes' Rich Robinson, who's been working with them on new material, so I look forward to checking that out. Graham, thanks for saying this. You guys do need to check out. The band is called Maker, and the album is called DEA, Dead Ends and Avenues. Fantastic record. Graham also sent this album over. I'll show you the packaging for this one because it's pretty cool. This band is called the Amazons. They're from the UK, where they have apparently been making some waves. You got this die-cut album cover, and inside you got the booklet. So anyway, I thought that was pretty neat. This is alternative indie rock fused with heavy blues rock riffs. They've been compared to Royal Blood and Queens of the Stone Age, so if you like that vibe, you will dig this record. You can almost hear some Soundgarden, I thought, in some of the riffs and in some of the feedback on the record, which is pretty cool. I can also hear some Clash influence in some of the melodies. One second, I think this a song is going really poppy in a poppy direction, then they just easily turn it around this really foot-stomping heavy riff, and that happens a few times throughout the record. So I thought that this was really well put together, those great riffs with that pop sensibility. So another cool record to check out. Graham, thank you for sending this over. This is the Amazons with Future Dust. I'm losing my voice, 33 years. I talked a lot in today's episode, tons of stuff to check out. That's why I did not do a record of the week in today's video, because these are all records of the week. I hope you dug this video. If you did, I would appreciate a quick thumbs up. Until next time, dear 33ers, keep on spinning.